Welcome to the first ever Talkin Ball Game Day edition.
Let's go, baby.
I don't have
Let's
a
go.
freaking hat on.
It is.
Right.
I don't have one either.
You don't have one either. It's just
But before we get started, as always, just like to give a shout out to our sponsor, Cam Smith, with Just Jesus Network Radio right above me.
thank you, Cam.
Thank you, Cam. Internet radio app for all your gospel preaching, gospel singing. Our boy Dave is on there 8:30 of Saturday mornings.
Check him out.
Yep.
Also with American Senior Benefits Insurance Company. Give him a shout out for all your insurance needs, whatever you have. But his link is in the bio as well. Let's dive into this. College Game Day is finally here. Week
go, baby.
1. The big matchup, Clemson, Georgia, which we'll get to that in just a minute.
Yep.
But, boys, are y'all excited or what?
Excited, I think, would be
An
understatement.
understatement.
Well, I'm
for
stoked
sure.
because we're recording this pre-Ohio State, Minnesota,
Right.
but posting it post-Ohio State,
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
So, within just a couple of days, we'll all sit down together, have some supper, and watch
Yep.
hopefully a really
Right.
good football game. And when this posts, that game's already happened, so we'll be able to maybe talk in the comments about it. But,
Yeah.
man, I mean, it just seems like it's
I'm
taking
pumped.
forever. And the thing is, yes, we had a football season last year, but these games coming up are packed out
Yeah.
stadiums.
Oh,
Yeah.
We have-
fans
And we have a stacked week one.
Yes.
An absolute stacked
Yeah,
week one.
Since
probably one of the best week ones that I
Maybe
remember
ever,
in a long time.
Since
Same
the
here.
LSU and Clemson Natty, where LSU ran away,
Right.
that's still last packed stadium, is it not?
Yeah.
As far as
Yeah,
college
I mean
sports
there
go.
was as far as Pat, there
Yeah.
were some fans in last year, but
Right,
it was
30
like, it
or
was like
40%
yeah,
max.
exactly. Which and it's there's going to be a lot of packed stadiums, but also there's still some. I know LSU that requires their
Vaccine
yeah
and
vaccine or a negative test in the last 48 hours, which that could hurt some people. But in the grand scheme of things,
Oh, yeah.
college football's back.
So
Fans are
let's
back.
go ahead and dive into the first little segment, and we're going to go with a potential upset. And that's not necessarily our prediction if we want to get that bold and we believe in it that
Right.
much, but at least a game to really look out for a potential upset. And I'm going to start with the week one matchup of LSU at UCLA. We saw how UCLA absolutely dismantled Hawaii. Now, granted, Hawaii, it's Hawaii. I can't tell you their mascot. I can't tell you
Right.
hardly many players ever played for Hawaii. But still, they looked absolutely good.
Yeah.
And again, we've already kind of mentioned them in a video previously, but UCLA, prolific offense. You got DTR. You got
Yep.
Zach, their running back. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name, who looked
Yeah.
absolutely great against Hawaii.
Stud.
So I say, if I'm an LSU fan, watch out week one because that's a bit of a trap game. So I'm going UCLA week one.
Absolutely, UCLA
Watch out,
is
not
going
necessarily
to. They believe they can win this game.
Yeah.
They're at home, and I don't know what their stadium is going to look like. I know last weekend
Yeah,
Right, yeah,
it
it wasn't
did.
But-
much.
I don't know what they're allowed. But so if I had to look at a upset pick, I'm looking for Virginia Tech versus UNC tonight.
And I
when
think
this
that
posts.
would shock a lot of people.
When this video posts, that is tonight.
Yeah,
So you're going to Blacksburg.
always a tough place to play.
Obviously,
Oh,
you've
it's
got
top 15 in the country.
Yeah, if
no
not
doubt.
top 10.
If not top
I mean,
10, and you know that entrance they do
Oh, yeah.
is just prolific. It's known.
Right.
Yes, obviously Matt Brown, Sam Howell, Ty Chandler. There are some big names going in there. They're on the defensive side. You got Grimes and Duck, very good corners. It's going to be UNC is going to have the favorite, and I don't know what the spread is, but I'm sure
Probably pretty
UNC
close.
is probably at least a 7-point
Yeah.
favorite, if not like.
I would like to
6.5.
see that. Look that up, Dallas.
And I think UNC wins the game. And they probably could win pretty handily, but
5.5.
Probably not.
really,
Yeah.
if watching this game, UNC manages to lose, I'm not going to be shocked.
Yeah, same here. And similarly to the UCLA LSU game, all the pressure is on North Carolina.
For sure.
All the
Yeah.
pressure is on LSU.
Yeah.
Right.
Virginia Tech.
Nobody's talking about
if Virginia
this
Tech
year.
loses week one, no big deal.
Yeah,
UCLA
exactly.
loses, they would have played week 0.
Exactly.
So for them, I
because
guess week one.
North Carolina has ACC championship hype this year.
Right.
Oh yeah,
that-
absolutely.
that
they got a
they're-
ton of hype.
That
on
they're
it.
going to
And
compete
this is
for
a
that.
this
Yeah,
is a conference matchup.
yeah.
and
Week one.
A lot of people are high on them, including me and a lot of other people. So all the pressure
Yep.
pressure is on North
Yep.
Carolina.
My upset watch, not necessarily pick. I wouldn't pick this team to win, but definitely could be a trap game, and that's the Notre Dame Florida State game Monday night, which I'm stoked about.
Yeah.
There's college football Saturday, Sunday, and
That's
Monday
awesome.
this
Right.
year.
And Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, I
Sunday.
kind of wish it was that way every
Yeah.
week, but I know
Yeah.
you have to fit games where you can. But no, Notre Dame losing Ian Book, losing multiple offensive linemen, losing some the running back
Yeah.
as well. I don't know really much about Florida State, but as you said previously about the UCLA game, about the game that David just discussed, Virginia Tech and North Carolina, all the pressure on this game is on Notre Dame.
Right.
Can you go into Florida State, a team that is rebuilding, a team that is trying to get back to that level of competing for an ACC championship? Can they go in, get the job done? With that, like I said, replacing their star quarterback, that it could be tough. Like I said, not saying they're going to, and most of the time, Florida State creates a good atmosphere at Florida State.
Does. No doubt. And I'll be interested to see who Florida State trots out there number one. Is that going to be Jordan Travis or Mackenzie Milton?
Yeah.
Because we've seen Mackenzie Milton pre-injury at UCF was an absolute stud.
Right.
And if he's that kind of guy week one, I mean, you could be looking at a Florida State team that may be finally on the right track.
Yeah, I don't think they're back as far as what they used to be, because that used to be, if you remember,
they were a top five program.
not many years ago it was Clemson Florida State, Clemson Florida State, always for the ACC. That was probably our biggest game of the year.
And Florida State was winning most of those.
Exactly, but they've fallen off. They've changed coaches a couple times over the past 5-6 years. But I think they'll eventually get back to there, and that would be good for Clemson.
It's gonna be a heck of a game to watch
for sure to get back there. So now let's go to another segment in this game day edition of our breakout player. Not necessarily our breakout player for the year, but one player that you think will stand out this week in their game. Who would yours be, John?
Mine is going to be one that's going to be posted after. So we'll see if my prediction is right. I'm going with C.J. Stroud against Minnesota.
I'd like to be able to go with Stroud myself.
So, I mean, we're recording this on a Monday. We're posting this Friday. So there's no funny business if C.J. Stroud absolutely goes off.
Yeah.
Because we are recording this on Monday. I'm going C.J. Stroud. I was thinking, a lot of people looked at Mac Jones last year in Alabama and thought Alabama's not going to be that great offensively. We don't know who Mac Jones is. He's like an unathletic-looking white guy. He's not going to be that good. But you couple that with a great scheme. You couple that with elite wide receivers, and Mac Jones was a Heisman finalist, a first-round pick. C.J. Stroud, a highly touted guy. He probably has the best wide receiver duo in Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson. Ryan Day, who's a proven offensive mastermind. I think C.J. Stroud absolutely balls out week one against Minnesota and P.J. Fleck and the Gophers.
Man, this is a tough one. But I think I'm going to let my bias show through here.
Uh-oh.
I think I'm gonna shed some light on the bias and pick Adam Anderson.
Okay.
As my breakout player for this week, not just the whole year, but this week. And if you want to go whole year, you could. But I'm going this week after week one, a player we look back on and say, man, this cat had a good game. I think it's Adam Anderson and his ability to rush the quarterback there versus a Clemson O-line that is replacing a lot and has some question marks. Now, if I was to stray away from Georgia, I'd like to go, and I hope I don't take with my second one, yours, but I'd like to pick Mackenzie Milton. Mackenzie Milton's a stud. He's a lot of similarities really to Ian Book at Notre Dame, and so that's what's interesting about it, is that matchup. And so if I had to stray away from Georgia, I'd go Mackenzie Milton, but my pick is Adam Anderson.
The only thing with Mackenzie Milton, we don't even know how much he might play. He could be the main guy, might not be.
This is true.
My breakout player for this week is the game that David just got done talking about, the North Carolina Virginia Tech, and my player is, as James Ford says, Sammy Howell.
Sammy Howell.
Sammy Howell.
I think Sam Howell comes into Blacksburg and plays well. I think he throws 350, 400.
Well, the dude's got the best deep ball in college football.
Yes.
And they lost Daz Newsome last year. And I just saw James actually send it to me, a post. I can't remember the guy's name, but it was one of their wide receivers that's actually going to be out for the game. So that's a huge loss. But when you got the best quarterback in college football, he's going to make plays.
Right. And I definitely think he solidifies his Heisman talk week one. I think he comes out and plays very well. Think that he definitely puts North Carolina in position to win that ball game. So my breakout player is Sam Howell.
Okay.
So for next segment is going to be the team that we're sleeping on this week. Which team is the team that's hyped up, the team that people are expecting to do well, but we don't think they're going to?
Well, I'll kick us off again, and I will say I'm sleeping so hard on the Miami Hurricanes. absolutely
I'm
slumbering.
snoozing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
And you've kind of come around because at first you kind of
Right.
weren't.
And let me throw this in there. A lot of these we have talked about together as a group, but there's some of these like the first 3 segments that we haven't talked about.
Right.
I decided on Adam Anderson as John was talking.
So we have no idea
Yeah.
what each other's going to
Right.
say. So go back to Miami.
I'm going Miami Hurricanes. If you haven't already seen our Miami Alabama breakdown, go check it out. It's actually doing pretty good. And I talked a lot about how I've seen, just being a Clemson fan playing Miami, I've seen Miami come in hyped into so many games and just underperform. But on the other side, I've seen Alabama lose a lot of guys going into week 1. I think USC years ago, Jalen Hurts, a true freshman, blasted a hyped up USC in that game. I think like 52-3. Wasn't even close. We saw Florida State. They blasted Florida State when they were ranked like number 2 or 3 in the country. Miami coming in with all this hype. I think I think the over at least was 18. I would say hammer the over if I was a betting man, which I'm not. But I think Alabama pulls away pretty strongly and wins that game pretty significantly.
So,
David?
there's a few teams that I could cuddle up in the bed and just sleep on. But if I had to pick one that I'm just going to, cut the lights out, I'm going to get me a nice glass of water or a glass of milk, and I'm going to go to sleep on, that's UCLA. I'm sleeping all over them. Matter of fact, I'm so far asleep that if they win, I'm still gonna be asleep. I'm straight snoozing. The alarm's going off, and I'm just sleeping straight through this.
What's your reason behind that?
LSU. The reason behind this is LSU's going to California and running UCLA out of their stadium, and they're gonna wish they were no longer in California. Home field advantage doesn't matter here. UCLA has
Especially, no fans.
They have like 120 fans.
They got a few more than that, but it definitely seems that way.
DTR couldn't pass the ball. Against who did they play, man? That slips my mind. Hawaii defense. They ran like crazy. You're not running like crazy against the LSU defense. I'm sleeping on UCLA. LSU big.
So my potential upset, again, I would pick LSU to win, but my potential upset was UCLA, his sleeper team, or the team he's sleeping on.
I'm snoozing.
Again, we haven't talked about this. So my sleeper team is also the Miami Hurricanes.
Okay. Whoa, hold up. Hey.
I know.
Wait, hold up. First of all,
hold on.
First of all, no. I've got to mention this. When we recorded the Miami Alabama breakdown, I was the only one.
This is true.
The only one that was
listen,
I'm out on Miami.
Hear me out here.
Now they've all.
You
were more mild-mannered.
I jumped on the bandwagon of Alabama's lost too much. But after doing a little bit of digging and just a little bit of time, I don't think it matters.
Which, like I said, you were more mild-mannered, but you were still. But he was like.
I was.
He was heck bent on Miami has a chance.
I was. And I still think, don't get me wrong, I still think that Miami comes out with a fight. I do think they come out with a fight, and I think it's maybe.
Let me.
Hold on. I do think that it's maybe even close at the half.
But we're picking this game, so don't explain.
We are.
Well, let me ask you this real quick, Dallas. You're saying Miami is the team you're sleeping on, but nobody's really expecting Miami to win. So if you're saying you're sleeping on Miami and you expect them to lose,
so
by
if you're
7
sleeping
points,
on Miami, it's Bama by 90.
Yeah, I mean, if you're sleeping on Miami,
you're sleeping on Miami too, aren't you?
Yeah.
Then why are you arguing?
That was my main thing. No, I'm just saying.
I'm confused.
I'm just saying a little bit of the hole in his argument is
right.
You're saying I'm sleeping on Miami, but it might be a close game. Well, nobody expects them to win.
Just for fun, if you had to choose somebody else, since John chose Miami, who is it? Just real quick. Because we're 15 minutes in and we're trying to keep this under 30.
I don't know. I mean, you can always go with the obvious. I'm sleeping on Georgia.
Yeah.
But if you sleep,
because of the because of the injuries.
Which I'm fine with Miami pick. I'm just saying if you're going to be sleeping on Miami, you better not be like they're only going to lose by 7.
I need people.
I think they lose by more than 7 for sure.
Okay.
I think they lose by more than the over.
Whoa.
Okay, then that's fair.
Miami and Alabama don't exist no more. He just said he's sleeping on
I said
Georgia.
if I had to choose another.
No. I'm clipping this because if we win, it's getting sent.
No, I said if I had to.
No. You said.
All right, moving on.
You said I'm going with the obvious. You said it's an obvious choice.
I think from his fan perspective.
Hold on. So that means if you're sleeping on Georgia, that means you expect Clemson big?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I said if I had to choose.
All right.
But anyway, so very quickly,
please sleep on Georgia.
No.
I'm not sleeping on Georgia.
Before we get to the game of the week, and this won't be a regular segment as the other ones will try to be throughout the year. But we're going to give our 4 playoff teams. Who do we think is going to make the playoffs?
This
is tough, and we'll try to keep it
This
I
might end up taking 15 minutes just to
It
figure out
is,
who our
but,
four are going to be.
But we will, and I'll go ahead and start.
You go ahead. You were the most confident.
Yeah.
We've kind of ran through this. I've done some research. I'm so torn. But you go ahead because you were the most set on this.
And I'll break it down from the number 1 seed. My number 1 seed is Clemson. I think Clemson gets past Georgia.
Nope.
I think they run the. I think they run the table.
Nope.
And I think they beat North Carolina in the ACC championship.
That's
Okay,
fair.
that
It's extremely possible
to win especially if they get past Georgia. If they get past Georgia, they have an easy ride.
So who's your 2 seed?
My 2 seed is going to be Oklahoma.
Okay.
I think Oklahoma.
You think they go undefeated?
I think they go undefeated. Yeah, Spencer Rattler steps up, plays great as he has the talent to do, and I think they take the number 2 seed.
That's fair.
My number 3 seed is the University of Georgia.
Really?
I think Georgia loses to Clemson week 1.
Runs the table.
And beats my number 4 seed, Alabama, in the SEC championship.
And so we get to see Georgia, Oklahoma, Alabama, Clemson, like we did in 2017.
Just the opposite way.
No, we were 1.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so rematch.
It was 1 and 4.
It was
2 and 3.
Yeah,
were we all 3rd or 2nd?
I believe we were 3rd.
I think Alabama runs
2016.
the table on their side, plays Georgia in the SEC championship, and I think Kirby Smart finally gets over the hump.
Oh my God! Please let it happen.
And beats Alabama.
Okay.
I want to
for
butt
the
in
SEC
here.
title.
Okay, now keep going.
I would gladly accept the loss to Clemson to beat
going. We're predicting the semifinals too.
And the national championship.
I think just my bias. I think Clemson beats Alabama.
Okay.
I think Georgia.
Wins the rematch.
I think Georgia wins against Oklahoma.
It's hard to beat a team twice.
Then you have a rematch of Clemson, Georgia,
and the Dogs take you.
Who you got? Who you got? Make the pick. Make the pick right now.
We need a pick.
I can't pick Georgia.
The people need it.
So I would take Clemson, but let me say.
My phone's getting notice. I really hope we don't.
let me say
Somebody
this.
calls me, I'm gonna cry.
Let me say this. I can't pick Georgia.
That's fair. As
a Clemson
you're
fan.
never gonna see me pick against Georgia.
But I would not be surprised.
It's hard to beat a team twice.
All right, I'll make my picks, and
so
there's gonna be some hurt feelings at this table. With my playoff picks.
You ain't hurt my feelings.
And so I'm going Clemson
and
number.
He's a Clemson fan.
Yeah, well, I'm going Clemson number 1, and the only reason I'm not saying that they're gonna necessarily deserve.
Right.
But I'm picking. I am picking them week 1 against Georgia. So if that's the case, I do believe they run the table.
Yep.
And if they have that win against Georgia. Or actually, let me think. No, they're going to – never mind. Alabama's my 1 seed. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Alabama goes undefeated. They don't lose a single game. They go undefeated.
Okay.
SEC championship and all.
SEC championship.
So 13-0 come in the playoffs.
13-0. Clemson's number 2. They also went undefeated.
Okay.
Number 2. Maybe they lost 1, but they're my number 2 seed. Number 3 seed is going to be Oklahoma.
Okay.
And my number 4 seed is going to be Ohio State. And the only reason, I've said multiple times that I think Georgia on paper is likely the best team in the country, and I do stand by that. But if I'm picking them to lose to Clemson, week 1, which I am, do I truly have full faith that they're going to be able to beat Alabama in the SEC championship game? And I'd be 50-50 on that.
That's fair.
And other teams, I look at Spencer Rattler with Oklahoma, I don't see them really losing. I see C.J. Stroud and Ohio State. Who are they going to lose to? Georgia has the toughest road if they lose week 1. That's the reason I'm
totally
on the
fair.
outside in.
Right.
So that's my 4. And then I go, you got Clemson, Ohio State, so a rematch. I say Clemson gets the best of this year. Alabama, Oklahoma. I say Oklahoma wins. Then it's Clemson and Oklahoma in the national championship game.
You're taking Oklahoma over Alabama.
I am. Then you got Clemson and Oklahoma. And I said I wasn't even buying an Oklahoma hype, but here I am having them in the national championship.
I know.
I'm somewhat buying the Oklahoma hype.
And then I'm going to say I have to go with the Tigers. I have to.
Yeah,
I have to go with the Tigers. Oh, this is tough. I'll probably change this after like week 3 and be like I'm an idiot. But that's what I'm going. Clemson national championship. Those are my 4.
Okay, David.
My 1 seed is the Oklahoma Sooners.
Okay.
Looking at their schedule, I see one team that can beat them, and that's Iowa State. Now, Oklahoma's known to slip up.
They have.
But, man, Lincoln Riley, it's going to happen sooner or later.
No, absolutely.
Same thing to be said for Kirby Smart in Georgia. I'm putting Oklahoma at the 1 seed. My 2 seed is really pick your poison here. Give me Alabama at 2 seed.
Okay.
And here's what I think happens. I think Bama goes 13-0. wins the SEC. I think, matter of fact, if Bama does that, they're probably 1 seed.
Right.
But the reason why I'm putting Oklahoma at 1 is the media loves them.
They do. They're
They
all
do.
over the Sooners
They
this
do.
season. Absolutely.
Now, if Bama's 13-0, they're probably 1. But I'm going to put Oklahoma at 1 because the media loves them.
Okay.
Yep.
So Oklahoma 1, Bama
Bama
at
2.
2. And I'm going to put Georgia at 3.
So we're gonna see an immediate rematch.
This is what I think. I think Georgia does win this Saturday. Georgia's going to go undefeated throughout the regular season. Georgia's going to lose to Bama SEC championship. Georgia's going to get in the playoffs at number 3. They're going to match up off with Bama. That is a nightmare if you're Bama.
Oh no, especially back to back.
Yeah.
Like that. Which I mean, there'll be time in between.
At this point, as of today, Saban's never lost to his predecessors or
Right.
his assistants or his whoever. If you play him back to back, the odds are you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I would really, if and I'm gonna say this: if I had to play Bama as a Georgia fan back to back, I'd rather lose the first one.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, absolutely.
For sure.
and
100%.
so-
I agree.
I'm
And
gonna
then
say,
4
and number 4, I'm gonna throw Clemson in there. Clemson
Okay.
loses week 1. However,
goes
they
on to
run the
win.
table,
Okay.
win the ACC,
It's fair enough.
and I'm a big UNC. I'm not say fan. I'm a fan of one team,
Yeah.
and I hate calling myself a fan of others. I'm a fan of college football. I'm gonna enjoy watching UNC this year, but Clemson runs them out of the stadium in the ACC championship. Now, here's what will be interesting: is the experience that Clemson's secondary offers and the scheme enough to cover up a little bit of lack of talent.
No, absolutely.
Um,
Especially in the safeties.
Because experience can cover up a lack of talent, but if you're the Clemson safeties, experience has to cover up your lack of talent, or somehow it's taking you to school.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So
So Oklahoma,
Oklahoma, Clemson?
Bama, Georgia, Clemson.
Oklahoma,
Then what?
So
Clemson.
basically, that's 4.
yeah. No,
yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah.
Go
Then
away.
what?
yeah,
yeah.
So Georgia's gonna beat Bama in the
Okay.
matchup. Oklahoma's gonna beat Clemson,
Okay.
and then it's Georgia, Oklahoma. Flip your coin. I will never, and mark my words, you will never see David Josie pick against the University of Georgia.
Yeah, of course.
It is great to be a Georgia Bulldog.
Yeah.
Dogs win.
Okay,
the
so
Natty.
there's our playoff picks that
I will probably pick Georgia to win the Natty till Jesus comes if we don't ever do it.
that
So-
I'll probably wake up in the morning and have a totally different mindset.
No,
Now-
absolutely. Please don't hold us to. I mean, you can hold us to them, but please don't go in the comments and be like, "Oh my God, you are idiots."
Well,
because
nobody's probably watching this far anyway.
no, probably not. But some of you
Some of us might.
are kind of mean. And
Yeah.
but I mean, seriously, we don't know if we believe what we're saying.
Legit. Yeah, that's the problem.
So now
This playoffs is tough.
Preseason stuff's hard.
to the game of the week.
Game of the week, baby.
Clemson versus Georgia.
Clemson versus
This
Georgia.
is one thing I wanted to mention. We're not trying to mimic
Game day.
Game Day. But in Game Day, they mention things like storylines, and they mention, the fantasy, the fairy tale things.
Yeah.
Jordan Davis, number 99, the heart and soul of Georgia's defense. He's going to walk out there to the center of the field pregame and flip the coin. He'll be one of our captains. He is born and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina. Boy, this is coming home.
Which we have a fair amount of Charlotte, North
I
Carolina.
don't care
boys
about
on
that.
the
You're
team.
Clemson. He's born and raised there. JT Daniels, I don't know if you knew this, but he actually built Bank of America Stadium. I'm just kidding.
Wait, hold
No,
on.
I'm just messing around.
Man, that is
Jordan Davis.
that is a storyline right there.
Well,
so
I don't know if you
that
know-
is my version of a
I don't know if you know
storyline.
this. DJ was actually born in Bank of America Stadium
Well, JT
and
built.
conceived. in
Did
Bank
you
of
know
America
that
Stadium.
JT Daniels won Connect 4 and 2
Okay.
moves?
Anyway.
Me and John can do this all day.
It's the game of the week.
It's the game of the week, and it's such an interesting matchup. We've done a lot on it.
We
and-
have done a
and
lot.
why not? I mean, it's probably the game of the year.
Yeah, possibly.
Easily the game of the week. There's not even another game's going to be close to the magnitude of this game. The team that wins this could very well win the Natty.
Yep.
The team that wins this is probably a lock for the playoffs. As
For,
Right.
yeah, for sure.
as far as
Unless
locks
something
go.
crazy
A
happens.
Yeah.
lock is never really a case. But if Georgia wins this weekend, y'all are going to hear me say we're going to the playoffs and winning the Natty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
same way with
exactly, and you should. And
I'm so excited, man.
Now,
Oh,
it's and the thing is,
just thinking about it. Gets
and
me-
I've said it over. I don't think I've ever been this excited for week 1.
No.
Yeah. It's gonna be. I was really thinking about it today, riding down the road, that it's gonna be kind of a letdown next week
Oh, it is. Yeah.
When
here's the
Clemson
thing.
plays SC State, I'll be like,
it's gonna
we're
be
gonna win by 60.
It's gonna be a letdown if you lose, but if you win, you get your first home game.
That's true.
In
right.
2 years, since
You're
your
coming
stadium's been packed.
Yeah.
And your stadium's gonna be packed just because they're allowed to be there.
Right. Yeah, that's true. So, now to our picks.
Let's go.
So, what we're going to do...
We got a celebrity guest picker.
Celebrity guest picker.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille
We got
O'Neal.
Shaq
Come on
coming
in,
through.
Shaq. He's
Come
going
on.
through that door.
He couldn't fit.
No, he
through that
couldn't.
door.
He couldn't fit in his room.
But no, every week, so we're going to keep up with our records.
Hold on.
And
Can we
our
make a...
celebrities.
Hold on. Let me do a little impromptu.
Okay, let's go, baby.
A little
Okay.
impromptu. What if we did a little gentleman's bet?
Okay.
And if Georgia wins, we have to do a segment on the next game day where the two of y'all sing the chorus of Glory, Glory to Old Georgia.
Okay.
But if Clemson wins, I will put on the Trevor Lawrence jersey for a whole episode.
Well, wait, I thought we were already doing the jersey thing anyway.
Yeah, because you got 2 jerseys.
I do
Yeah.
have two Georgia.
Yeah.
Well,
You gotta-
what is something y'all
You
gonna-
got to do the Clemson.
Yeah, the fight
Tiger,
song.
The fight song. Got to do the chant.
Okay.
I say we just go out all out like Jake Paul and Worley, and you gotta get
You gotta get a tattoo.
You got to get a tattoo of Clemson. We got to get a tattoo
Right
of
across
Georgia,
your chest, just
right
Clemson
here.
Rock.
Bam.
Well, if you
Yeah,
want to pay me
that's-
a couple $1 million.
That's fair enough. Sing each other's fight
y'all,
song.
That'll be pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll rock
so,
with that.
So we'll do with that.
So now we're calling Shaquille O'Neal.
So with this guest picker, what we're gonna do, since it's tough just to get
call him. They don't care.
yeah to get somebody to
It's Landon Lancaster. Nobody
no, I'm
knows
telling you
him.
what we're
Hey,
doing.
Landon Lancaster was in a video.
Yes.
Call him.
So instead of getting somebody to come in, we're gonna call them, get them to go over with their picks as well. So,
Basically,
We're
because
going to keep up with all the records.
yes. So we are calling.
this
him
is his
now.
dad. We don't have friends.
If he doesn't answer.
Hello.
Landon, you are live on Talkin' Ball
Well, good.
again. It's good.
I'm
It's
back,
good.
I'm
Good to have you back. So,
He's back.
we are starting with the picks, and Landon, we'll let you be
Want to kick us off?
the first pick. So the first game that we are picking is the University of Penn State at Wisconsin. Who are you taking in that matchup?
I'm taking Penn State in that one.
Penn
man.
State.
Any reason why?
Any reason
Short
why?
reason why?
If I have my facts straight, they started the season off rough last year. I think they started off 0-5, maybe if I remember. But they went on a win streak toward the end there. I'm looking for them to continue that, and I just feel good about them just based off of what I've read.
That's fair.
It's good.
That's a good take.
John, who are you taking?
I'm going Wisconsin. We got Graham Mertz. We've seen Graham Mertz play great, and we've seen Graham Mertz play bad. He was a freshman last year. He started out really hot. They got a great coach in Paul Chris. He's been a great coach there. They always have the O-line shirt up. They always have a great running back. If Graham Mertz can be that guy, that's the one position they've really never had. I don't know what Landon's doing over there. But with Graham Mertz, so I'm going Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
You
David?
know what Willie Nelson said one time?
What did he say?
He said, "Whiskey River, take my." I'm taking Wisconsin on this
Let's
one.
go,
boys.
baby.
Wisconsin. I am as well taking
Uh-oh.
Wisconsin.
Three
So-
Wisconsins and one
So
Penn
Landon,
State.
you're the only one with Penn State.
Are we gonna keep up with these?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna.
I like
Yeah.
to be the outlier.
So we're gonna keep up with this. Next matchup we have is the University of Alabama versus the Miami Hurricanes. Who are you taking the upset, or are you going with the Tide?
Roll Tide all day.
Roll
Do
Tide.
you think the game will be close at all?
I do not look for. I think Miami will put up a few points. We'll see,
And
but
then
I
a field
don't
goal.
think they're going to keep it close. I think Alabama runs away with it.
Okay.
So we will see. Alabama's got a lot to prove. They lost a lot on offense
They
last
did,
year.
they
so
did.
We'll do what they can do this year. But I think Bama is Bama, and I'm expecting them to roll like they always do.
And so I'm going Bama big. I'm going Bama by
Bama big.
20, 25 plus points.
Okay. David.
If we had a turnover chain, I would pick it up, put it over my neck, and then I would throw that thing because Alabama's going to win this game, and Alabama's going to win it 41-17. You heard it here first. We're not supposed to throw out scores, but I did for this one.
Okay.
Let's go,
I'm snoozing on.
Okay.
Miami.
I as well am
Bryce Young gonna go off.
taking Bama in this one.
What if Dallas will be like, I'm going Miami?
Again.
He just said he's sleeping on him.
Again, I do think Miami keeps it a little bit closer in the first half, but as Landon said, Bama's Bama. Nick Saban is the greatest coach of all time. Bama pulls away pretty easily toward the end of the game. Next matchup, Indiana at Iowa. Who you taking, Landon?
I'm taking Iowa in that one.
Iowa. Any reason? Just
Not really. I haven't done a lot of homework on either one of them. If I'm being completely honest,
Okay.
I'm just feeling Iowa on that one.
Okay.
Feeling Iowa. I like that. I'm going Indiana. This one was a bit of a tough one for me. But I'm going really for one reason, Michael Penix Jr. I saw him play very well against Ohio State last year. I'd be lying if I said I knew a ton about Indiana, but I know Michael Penix Jr. is a good quarterback. I've seen him be able to play well in the big game, so I'm rocking with Indiana week 1.
Okay. David?
This is a tough one. And in our other picks group, I took Iowa. And so if I was taking Indiana, at least I'd be 50%.
Yeah, you'd be 50%.
But I'm going to rock with Iowa.
Okay.
And the thing is, I don't know a whole lot about Iowa and their football team. I do know just a tad bit. Iowa, statistically, they're going to have, or historically, they're going to have a good line of scrimmage.
Good O-line and good tight ends.
No doubt. And they have a good scheme. But, man, this is a tough one because when you have a superstar quarterback that Indiana has, you're in any game you play.
Yep.
But I'm going to take Iowa here. They've got home field advantage too, and that matters.
I'm going. I'm all for home field advantage, but I'm going with you, John. I'm
Let's
going
go, baby.
Indiana.
Yeah,
So we split on this one.
Indiana on the
You're a
road
Miami fan.
against Iowa. So next matchup. This one might not be. We should have unanimous very quickly. Let's go Notre Dame, Florida State. Who you taking?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. I'm going Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Make your pick now.
Notre Dame.
Wait, didn't he say like one of the breakout? Didn't we do a breakout team or something like
Yeah.
that? Yeah, and yours was like Florida State.
Okay.
Or like the potential upset.
I'm going to pull.
What's Florida
I'm pulling a Kirk Herbstreit.
Okay.
I'm pulling a Kirk Herbstreit.
Okay.
I'm rocking with the Knowles.
No.
I like it. I
Here's
like
why.
it.
This head coach needs a signature win.
Absolutely does.
If you're gonna knock
That's good.
off,
Yep.
a Brian Kelly team, you need to do it now.
Mike Norvell needs a good win.
If Mackenzie Milton is for sure the man at quarterback, I believe he is. We've seen him be a really good college quarterback. We're gonna take Florida State in this one close. Home field advantage is gonna help you here. It's the first time your stadium's packed out in a while, like everybody else. This team needs a big win, and you've got some playmakers. You got a good quarterback and a young head coach looking for a signature win. I like Florida State.
I like that. I like that
I was
pick.
wrong. Next, North Carolina at Virginia Tech. Who you taking, Landon?
We're rocking with North Carolina. I think Sam Howell and Josh Downs is going to be a deadly
And Ty
combination
Chandler.
this year, and I'm expecting big things out of them. So I know Blacksburg is tough, but we're taking North Carolina. We're taking North Carolina all day.
John?
So I'm going North Carolina as well, and some of the reasons that he just listed. To me, when you got the best quarterback in college football, that gets you wins in tough environments. That gets you wins in tough situations.
Right.
Virginia Tech's not the Virginia Tech of old, and that's obvious, but it is a tough place to play, as Landon just mentioned. But Sam Howell, you got Ty Chandler, you got Josh Downs, you got a very good secondary. I think North Carolina's a dang good football team this year, and I think they get the win week 1.
Real quick, North Carolina.
North Carolina as well for me. I think Virginia Tech keeps it close in the first half.
I do too. I think it's a close game.
But I think North Carolina pulls away in the fourth.
I think they pull away.
In the fourth quarter, wins by maybe 10, 13 points. Now,
Big day from somehow.
Game of the week.
game of the week. Georgia, Clemson.
And give the score.
Who are you taking, Landon? And what's the score going to be?
I'm taking Clemson in this one, 34-31. Think it's going to be a nail biter either way. And as a Carolina fan, I really don't care how it goes, just as long as it's a good football game. But I'm pulling and I'm choosing Clemson in this one. But looking for a good game Saturday
The
night.
Carolina fan just say he was pulling.
He was pulling for Clemson.
Wow.
Okay. Oh, so I guess it'd be my
John?
turn. I'm going Clemson 38-30. And I mean that's an 8 points. That's an 8-point spread, and that may seem a little bit much compared to a lot of people, but I think it's 31-30. I think it's 4 minutes left. I think Clemson goes a touchdown, kind of puts a nail in the coffin. 38-30. Georgia marches down, tries to score and then gets stopped on like a fourth down, and then we nail the clock out. That's how I think it goes. 38-30.
I'm gonna take Georgia here, 38-31. That gives Clemson 4 touchdowns and a field goal. Gives Georgia 5 touchdowns and a field goal. So Georgia wins by a touchdown here. The difference in this game is Georgia's offensive line. Georgia's offensive line will have a good day, and whoever's offensive line in this plays better wins. Both teams sport an extremely good front seven and a somewhat questionable secondary on one side of the ball. You've got experience. Now you're an idiot.
That wasn't me.
I'm blaming you.
That literally wasn't me.
Oh, well, you're the one that moved and then this moved.
Okay.
On one side of the ball at Clemson, you've got experience And then at Georgia, you've got a lack of experience, but a lot of talent. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, but I'm going to take Georgia here by a touchdown.
Okay. I thought long and hard about this.
No, you didn't.
I did. Georgia probably on paper, best team in the country.
No doubt.
Definitely up there.
Clemson,
doubt.
returning Justin Ross, wide receiver talent, having to replace Lawrence, Etienne, all them people. With that being said,
How many points you picking Clemson by?
this helmet looks pretty dang good,
Hey, whatever you do, don't throw it.
but
I spend much money on that helmet.
I'm gonna have to go.
Can I see it?
I'm gonna have to go with.
Can I see the helmet?
I'm gonna have to go with the Tigers.
Let's
on
go,
this
baby.
one.
Can I see the helmet?
34-31.
Can I see the
Tigers.
It's a no. Absolutely
Let me
not.
see the helmet.
Helmet has gone down. Tigers 34-31. Start the
wanted to-
season
Just
1-0.
put it here, let people see it.
Taking the Tigers.
Taking the Tigers.
So, Landon, thank you so much for being our
Bump
first
this.
celebrity guest picker. We do appreciate it. So, David is going to get the helmet by himself.
I'm taking the dog.
He's taking the dog. So, Landon, we'll talk to you later.
So, thanks for watching. If you've actually watched this far, be sure to leave your predictions as well down below on some of the games that we picked. He's an absolute stud over there with the helmet on. And,
Sorry, went over time, but
yeah, well, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. But
Overtime. You just said something.
is the game going to go into
Georgia
overtime?
wins by a touchdown. in overtime.
overtime. Look at that, Sid. So again, thank you for watching. Give us your picks. Who you think's gonna win?
Exactly. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all the above. Check out Cam Smith's links in the bio. Thanks for watching.
Until next time,
Hey, Clemson,
go Tigers.
come get you some.